Good morning, I'm Kristen Folletti and welcome to News Desk on SiliconANGLE TV for Tuesday, March 5th, 2013. Google Glass is a hot and trending device that everyone is clamoring for, but does the praise come too early? Here to provide her analysis on the topic is SiliconANGLE Senior Managing Editor, Kristen Nicole. Good morning, Kristen.
Hey, how's it going?
Very good, good to see you.
Okay.
Sergey Brin, CEO of Google, architect and chief evangelist for the Google Glass project, has devoted much of his time showing off what he's called the future of wearable computing. Now that the initial excitement over the device has dissipated, the press has focused its attention on the project's problems. Kristen, with Google targeting the end of 2013 for their Google Glass consumer release, how important is it to manage the public's opinion between now and then?
It's very important. Google is still new on the hardware side. They've just released their first smartphone and tablet offering. They have a home entertainment device now. So their product lineup, as far as actual devices go, is still young, it's still new, and they really need to make an impression with the devices that they roll out. So not only are they really taking a leap in terms of the type of product that they're looking to release with Google Glass, but they also need to continue with the success they've had with some of their earlier hardware devices. Their smartphone did very well in the market. So it's very important for them to have that public opinion, continue to build the anticipation and the hype around this device. Brin's doing a pretty good job of keeping it in the press and making sure that he's seen out and about with these glasses. So I think it's going to be extremely important for the rest of the year till it's launched.
Questions have been raised about the safety of Google Glass. There's many concerns that the long-term effects of the type of heads-up displays used in Google Glass. Even the Harvard Medical School ophthalmology professor that Google has been consulting with admits that an eye condition known as binocular rivalry could be a problem. Some analysts attributed poor sales of the Nintendo 3DS to the admission by Nintendo that young children viewing the 3D screen could face irreparable eye damage. Even if there's only a slim possibility that Google Glass can potentially damage one's eyesight, is that going to take a toll on its popularity and adoption? What are your thoughts?
I think it probably won't. I think a lot of people are excited about something like this. It's high time for a revolutionary product. We're waiting for something from Apple, and Google is also looking to really take advantage of consumer expectations around a new connected device that's new and exciting. So I think that people, at least initially, are going to be excited enough to kind of overlook and possibly not even consider some of the health risks associated with something like a heads-up display that's close to your eyes. Now, me being a bookworm and a nerd, I grew up reading a lot of books, probably without enough light. I'm sure I sat too close to the TV. Now I'm using a computer all day. I'm aware of things like eye strain, and I'm also old enough to want to kind of move past that. So a lot of people are going to, while some people are going to think about these things, and I'm sure that a lot of people will also experience something like eye strain. Looking at a laptop, you experience eye strain. So having a screen that close to your eye, I'm almost certain there's got to be some adverse effects here. But I'm not sure it will impact the popularity too much unless it's so bad that it's unavoidable that they are going to have issues with this. Now, there also seems to be some responses from Google itself that they have taken these things into consideration, which I think is good. There's been enough exploration with this type of technology that Google can and should be taking these things into consideration. Heads-up displays have been used for military purposes and other use cases enough to kind of get a founding set of data on how this will how humans can interact with this, how it will affect their eyesight, other things. So I'm hopeful that Google has thought about these things and are addressing these issues and really incorporating that into the resulting product. So we'll see, but it may or may not have an impact on potential sales, at least not at first. I don't think it will be too bad.
And regarding eye strain, in fact, between 64 to 90% of office workers suffer from computer vision syndrome, also known as CVS, which symptoms include redness, burning, irritation, and blurred vision. So if staring at a regular-sized computer monitor can cause discomfort, it's obvious that there might be some discomfort glancing through a tiny display like Google Glass. Kristen, with these previous reports of incidents involving heads-up displays and harmful effects on their vision, why are we continuing to innovate in this area? Do you think this is technology trying to live up to the promise of science fiction?
Absolutely. And I think one of the good things about science fiction is that it allows you to explore these concepts and think about them years, sometimes even decades before the technology is actually available and capable in the real world. So I think just the fact that we have been able to think about these things, we have a very healthy sci-fi culture that really incorporates some of these concepts into our expectations for technology. I really think that's a good thing. But in terms of some of the lasting effects that these glasses could have, I really think that the fact we have been able to think about this for so long, that means that there's more challenges to address here. But the fact that those challenges can be addressed relatively early on, at least as far as a consumer product goes, I really do think that that's a promising development here.
Google hopes that its Glass project will have widespread appeal, yet the social implications of a mainstream wearable computer are yet to be seen. There's no Google Glass social etiquette guide, and those social issues, if they are broached, Google Glass could face public backlash. Currently, other than the risk of being called Four Eyes in elementary school, it's not really taboo for individuals to wear glasses, Kristen. Google Glass, however, might not be welcome in locker rooms, restaurants, concerts, or anywhere else where pictures and videos are also not welcome. Do you think there's going to be any pushback from society at large? And how do you think that might affect Google Glass's long-term success?
I think privacy advocacy groups are going to be all over this. Many already are. I also think that with social media and other factors, we're becoming very comfortable with cameras being around. There's security cameras everywhere. There's vigilantes out there that will chase down crime in the streets and upload it to YouTube and get a lot of views for that, and even help the authorities, local authorities, capture criminals, things of that nature. So we are coming into a culture where it's expected that you may be being watched. You may not know it. There may be a camera somewhere, whether you know it or not, just kind of in the back of your head, know that there's a good chance that something you're doing might come to light in the public, whether it's from a camera or a picture at an event that someone else uploaded to Facebook or Instagram. A lot of factors are really at play here. So the culture is certainly moving towards a more accepting approach to this media being shared online. But there are also other concerns you have to take into consideration when it comes to this ever-ready camera and a device that is, always on, always ready. You're not necessarily sure if it's capturing data or not. So I really think that this is going to be, it's going to bring about a lot of important privacy conversations. As far as the social backlash goes, I don't expect too much backlash. I think that this is a natural evolution in terms of the types of media that's being shared, the way we're interacting with devices. I know some of the other concerns with these glasses are in regards to the way we're going to interact with each other. In some ways, people think that the internet and smartphones have disconnected a lot of human interaction. Others think that it's done the opposite. So with the web, you're able to find more people of like mind and really develop relationships with communities that you may not have otherwise been able to find, depending on your geographic location. So there's certainly a lot of different ways to look at it. I think that it's very early to really fully appreciate the social implications of something like Google Glass. We're just going to have to get them and play around with them, see how it goes, and make modifications from there.
Well, Kristen, certainly a very interesting topic. Unfortunately, we're out of time for this morning, but thanks so much for your comments.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And still to come this morning on News Desk, Wikibon co-founder and CTO David Floyer joins us to update us on some of the latest announcements surrounding Flash. And all your tech headlines are in one place with your SiliconANGLE News Roundup on the way on SiliconANGLE TV.